Okay, people, Vape Vapor's back. I told you to be back for another review on a item that I'm going to start out saying right off the beginning. I know a little bit about it. I did some research on it. I was recommended by a couple people. Plus, I had some people YouTube me messages about why don't you get this, check it out, looked it up, checked it all out, everything like that. Now, I'm not going to be able to unbox this one for you from the plastic, and the reason is I just did it a little bit ago. And what happened was I ran into a problem of everything that was machined in this thing was so tight that you couldn't get it apart. And it was like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it has beautiful engineering and that. So anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. So this is what we're going to look at today. It's called the TCX. It's Xvape.com company. It's called the Expromiser. It's engineered and machined in Germany. It's an RTDA. There's the box. There's the little scanning code on the back. It's in German, and then disclaimers, Xvape serial number and barcode. Okay, so most people call this the TCX. It's a mesh RTDA with steel rods, and I'll show you that in a minute. Now, the box came with an atomizer, two mesh strips, a bag of O-rings and a screwdriver and extra screws, a piece of cotton. This cotton is 6 millimeters. It's like WOTOFO'S 6 millimeter for the original profile. That was way too much cotton to go in this thing, to go in a profile, and you had to trim it all back out of the heart of it. It's got the bending tool, which is the kind that has the groove to put exactly in that groove, and it's not one shape, okay? So all my people know that already, that watch my videos already know what that's about. You have them, let me see it for new people so they know what I'm talking about. I'm going to get the Profile 1.5 bending tool out for you for once, so people don't get confused. WOTOFO'S bending fuel tool, okay, it's all one thing. So this end of it here, you would stick in the mesh, just kind of round it off to help you as a tool, but it's all one length. This one, these kind come where you have to put the mesh in there to bend it around that little groove, okay, so it has the exact shape. I don't know why they didn't do something like WOTOFO'S. I think WOTOFO'S are great, and then it has the extra end on it to stone in or round out if you have any kind of like misconfiguration. But so that's for the new people. All the old people already know that. Alright, I took this thing apart, people. Now I have a video on profiles, WOTOFO'S profile RTDA, okay, and it's got the steel rods down in the bottom. So I've done that video. If you want to go see that, go look at that, okay. It's on my YouTube channel. So I had to take this thing all apart, people, and I kind of left it apart, all right, to show you. The first thing it did, it came with the an 810 drip tip, which is like a friction drip tip, okay. And I don't like friction drip tips. They're too hard to take in and out of the devices, and I had a hell of a problem getting it out of there. You know, I took a pair of soft pliers on it, and it finally came out of there pretty easily, but that wasn't the problem I ran into. It was all the other pieces. Okay, so that's the top. This is the top cap. The machining in them is really outstanding. Okay, and that's where your drip tip goes, that friction one, and I really didn't like it, so I pulled out another one of mine, and I'm going to use that one. Alright. So we're going to put it in there. We're going to use that one on it. But it comes with a black drip tip. It's pretty wide bore. I don't like really wide bore ones that are real thin like that. Okay. I told everybody my favorite's the Profile Unity drip tip. Look how thick that is and tapered down. That's my favorite drip tip all time. Okay. So that's the top cap, okay? Your airflow's on both sides of the top cap to spin. All right, and then what happens is you've got the bottom. So I'm going to do the bottom piece first, because I had to take it apart. It was, you would not believe how super tight these things were together. So careful when you take them apart. Try to get some rubber channel locks. I don't know if you guys got those and know what they mean. You could probably get it off with channel locks. I didn't see I scratched it or did anything to it when I used ones with rubber tips on them. So it's got EX on it. That's your tank down there. It's protected by this. Okay, and that's where your steel rods got now, because I took all the steel rods out of it. All right. So, but I'm going to put them back in. Now, there's your deck. It's like the profile deck, okay? And let's see how tension is on that thing. Oh, the tension in this thing is absolutely fantastic. This is on par with the Doom X video I just made, that their platform here. Okay, and now you see those 3 holes? That's where all these steel cables. I took this apart so you guys can see this. This is how the juice gets up to the deck, okay? So each one of these has to go in each one of that hole. Now in this TCX, all right, compared to the profile, wait, where is it? The profile RTDA that has it, they only have 4 in there. So I think that 6 is going to be better, because it's going to bring the juice up there quicker. Still rocking my profile Unity, people. But I'm going to tell you this. This review on this one, the Doom X, best RTA I've ever experienced. Hands down. Hands down. Oh my goodness. The flavor's up 20% over any profile device with WOTOFO, VAPE, column, anyone. Period. Okay, so there's your deck. You got the 2 screws on the side. Obviously, it opens up. You put your little mesh fin in there. You cotton it. We're going to do that. But right now, I'm going to put all the steel rods back in it. Okay, one at a time. Okay. 1, 2. When I get it together, I'll show you how you fill this thing. It's pretty unique how it fills. So just run your steel cables back in there. It doesn't matter if you take these things out. They sit in the bottom. They sit flush in this deck. So they fit back in there very easily. So don't worry about if you take them out of there. We'll make sure they're all flush in there. Okay. So they're all flush in there. See them? Let me back off a little. See all of them? They went down in them 3 holes. And you got your deck layer and all that. So that's the bottom part. That's your tank. There's your platform. Okay. Super tight here. Same as on what's a profile. Okay, so it came with 2 meshes. 2 different meshes. Doesn't tell you what they are though. So I went on their website, and one of them's like a next mesh, and one of them's like a WOTOFO that comes in the tube. Okay. Almost got them in there for a minute. So we're going to be using this one because it's a lot tighter. It's like the nest mesh. This is kind of like a little bit more open holes. Okay. Alright. We're going to put it in there. We're going to find our bending tool. Alright. So your bending tool, it goes around this, right, people? That part. Everybody knows that watches my videos. They know that I'm all in the mesh, so I don't know why Grim Green and Jay Hayes hate it so much. But anyway, so you bend that around there. You've used your bending tool. You're done with it. Just hold on to it for a minute. Then take your atomizer body, your platform. Let's see if these screws come out easy. We'll find out whether it's spring loaded now too. Didn't get them out far enough. Doesn't appear that they are spring loaded, people. But it seems like you can really wind them out there though. And there are much bigger blocks in there. This well's about a, I don't know what you'd say, a 32nd of an inch deep, maybe a 16th. About 32nd inch deep, so it's going to bring a lot of juice up in there. Plus, I'm looking under the platform. A whole bunch of juice is going to run underneath there. That's a great thing. Alright, so we're going to try to get this mesh in here. My old feeble eyes, it's a challenge for me, some of these meshes, to get them in those little slots down there. But it looks like we got it in again. I'm going to tighten one. Going to go to the other side and tighten the other side. See now, you know, I bent it just a hair, people, right? So you can either do it one or two ways. If you don't have a WOTOFO bending tool, you can just go in here with your screwdriver, right? And round it out. Just make it nice and round and nice and even. I don't know if I got that off center. Nope. Okay. We're going to run their cotton lace through on it, and then I'll show you how how you're going to whip this thing. What I do, people, is I always twist these things, right? So you twist them a little bit, right? When you're bringing it through, then you don't have so much problems getting it through there. But I'll tell you what, this thing is, pull it back and forth, all right? Pull it back and forth like this to make sure that cotton gets seated on there well, all right? There. All right, we're going to pull a little bit further here. All right, I'm going to cut it. This one, people, you're going to cut straight off. All right, and I'm going to show you a trick with these. With this so much cotton, I kind of like did already, showed you with the Doom X. You got to buy one of these. You know, I've had a lot of loyal people that stayed on this channel, but if you're going to buy one of these. So anyway, we need to fluff it out some, right? After I fluff it out, I'm going to take something out of the middle of this. And when I tell you I'm taking something out of the middle of this, I'm going to show you what that is. After I give it its haircut. Look at it, looks like it's got an afro. You guys don't know that. Back in the day, the African Americans used to wear afros, and it looks kind of like that. That's what they like to wear. That was that period of time. So, anyway, you trim all this off. You don't want any on that on there. Okay, most of it, I think. I know this probably bores the hell out of you guys, but I wick it down so you make sure you know. So I'm going to bring it back in here, right? Like this. And what I do is, peoples, I take and I cut the middle of it out. You understand? You see how that happened like that? You see what happened right there? Alright? So cut the middle of it out. So that juice is going to angle up in there. You don't need all that cotton in the middle of that. Trim it up a little bit more. There's a little bit too much here. I think we're going to have a problem with this one being too much on this one. Just want to make sure you guys all know that the wicking is very important on these. So it looks like it's good to go. So I'm going to try to put it down in there, and then you really know whether or not. Oh, I think I did it perfect. And what I do is I fluff it out also. When I'm down in here, I fluff it out after I get it in the well, just so the juice will go up through it quicker. Okay, so you push it in, right? Get it down in there, and then I pull down on them and make sure it all goes down in there. And it kind of shreds the cotton up a little bit more. So this worked out pretty good. All right, there you go. We're going to put it on an atomizer. It tells you should burn this off with some e-juice on 15 or 20 watts before you use it. So I'm going to do that because they tell you to do it. There could be some oily, greasy, gnarly stuff on there. I'm putting this on top of it, an old iPriv from SMUCH, lighted one. So we're gonna go this one. We're gonna go with funnel cake, people. Fried funnel cake. Fried funnel cake. If you've never tried this, it's outstanding. Here's my old Colin M RTA. Colin M RTA. Sitting on an Expromiser baby, a baby C-Prib baby. Little 85 watt device, pretty neat. Had it for a long time, never had an issue with it from SMUCH, with all the SMUCH haters. Very small device that fits right in your pocket. So we're going to wet this up pretty good. We're going to fill it up. I'm going to show you how you fill it up. Now, I'm different from some of these reviewers. I like to really saturate my cotton first because I know it takes a while to get the cotton in there. So I go over it 2 or 3 times. Okay? Also, while you're doing these, people, you can mold your cotton into your well better by using the front of the drip tip, the dripper from the e-juice, and get all the little fuzzies all the way in there and flatten it out and keep it off the top of the coil here. Okay, so there's not a little burnt tip that's going to start occurring on top. So you can kind of like mold it downwards. It makes the e-juice come out even better. So we're going to do that middle really good again. We'll come back over here and got a few little ones sticking out right there. We're going to go back over it again. Okay, I think that's enough. Got it on 15 watt. 15 watts, we're going to burn it a little bit. There it goes, it's burning, see? So that's what they recommend to do. And we're going to put it back together now. Before I do that, I'm going to put a little bit of juice on this because it was so damn hard. on these little O-rings. See the O-rings there? I'm going to put a little juice on that so it comes open next time better. Be able to get it off of there. Okay, she shot right back down on there. Did have a little bit of, tiny bit of juice come out of there because I put them on the O-rings there. So we have it together. There it is. It's a pretty tall device here, people, and you may want to put it on a shorter thing. This thing is going to be massively hot. It's pretty long compared to the Doom X RTA. I haven't got the top cap on there yet either, so we're going to get it on there, right? Okay, this, people, has 6 holes for airflow. Let's see if I can get it up there for you. 6 across there. 6 air holes. This spins right here for your airflow. Okay, but what we're going to show you today is there's a fill point. And you spin the whole entire bottom around, and there's a hole right here, and it has a little membrane in it, so it's really hard to show you on camera, but maybe I can get it on there. It keeps trying to get my hands in there, doesn't it? See it? There's your fill port. So it did come in there for a minute for you to see it. There's how you fill it up. We're going to fill it up right now. And then there's arrows on this same thing where that fill port is, and that's to put it where your airflow hits the top of the center of the coil. So you want to turn that. There it goes. It's filling up, take my word for it. Also, I see these reviewers, they fill up these mods and they only put like a quarter of them in there. I don't suggest that. I suggest going ahead and filling it all the way up. That way the whole thing will function the way it's supposed to, full. Alright, so this thing wicks automatically up those steel wires, okay? If you've never used one like this, I've already used one. I've had a couple of them. Most recent one was the RTDA from WOTOFO, the profile, with the profile 2.0 on top of it. It's right here. Alright, see? They don't call this a 2.0, but it's bigger than the 1.5, and you can take it off of here and make it into a profile 2.0. So I don't know if you people know that or not. If you want to waste your money and buy the whole RTDA and make even better profile than the 1.5, there it is right there. It's got the cap for the bottom. They give you all the parts to do it. So anyway, I do have experience with these. So we're going to take a vape of this. We're going to bring the wattage up in this thing. We're going to start out at 50 watts. Okay. This was the only lighted device that I ever liked, was this one. Was the purple I don't put it on blinking or anything. It's a purple mod. Got the gunmetal black on here. It looks pretty good here. I just leave it on the color purple. And it goes off after 3 seconds. You set it, it'll go off. Or I've got it set on permanent now because I just brought it out of storage to do this. And you can get these online pretty cheap now too, but they have a different version now, a newer version. It's the same as this one though. So we're going to go ahead and hit this and see what happens. I've got it all the way open. Let me make sure the airflow is correct. Is right over the... So there's a little arrow on here, and you want to make sure that the airflow is right over the mod, the deck, right? All right, there it is. Okay. You'll look in your manual about that little arrow to make sure it's over the deck, so it's getting the right draw over it. And that ring there where you fill it, it's pretty easy, pretty simple to understand. All right, first hit on it. First one I heard on it. Flavor on it's outstanding. As good as a profile. Let me think. I would have to put my funnel cake in the Doom X to find out there was a difference. But let me do another one. I tell you what, with 6 holes open on this, the air, the draw is a little restricted, but it's smooth as hell. I mean, it's like the profile draw. Okay? And I would probably recommend myself to leave this thing open 6. You take it down too far, which I could do. I'm not going to do. I don't like a real restricted hit, so you guys would have to do that. That's personal choice of what you want to do with it, right? So anyway, on these mesh strips, right, they only recommend that you take these from 50 to 60 watts, okay? So you guys know I'm going to put it on normal strength instead of hard. And I'm going to bring it up to 60 watts. Oops. Sorry about that. I haven't used this mod for a while, so we're on 60 watts now, right? 60. Let's see how it hits. Man, this thing chucks some clouds, I can tell you that. Now, it's rather large. I'm thinking it would probably look better on a smaller device. See, I could stick it on there. It would be probably as big as this. But for a table, for a desk, for at home, on your coffee table, trying to figure out whether the flavor's better. I don't think it matches up to the Doom X flavor, but it matches up to everything else that I have on the table here, which is the Mesh V2, the Profile 1.5, the Mesh V2 from Bandy Vape, this one here, which I really like too. Sitting on top of the topside light, which I think is a fantastic mod device. So, and I'd have to do that, and it matches up to the profile Unity. That's the pineapple from Twist. So we're going to go one more. I'm thinking I prefer this thing at 50. All right. It works really well. I like it. I'll give it a... If I was going to compare this to the Profile 1.5, the 2.0 thing that I call it, RTDA, this RTDA is just as good as it. I think it's got a little more flavor than that one because it's got more of the steel rods in it to bring the juice up to the cotton. So I'm going to say this is a better purchase. Plus you can get this on vape sourcing or cheapvapedeals.com for a lot less money than a Profile RTDA. I got this thing for like, I think it was $23 after coupons. And then it was $6 for shipping. So, you know, you do have shipping for the RTDAs for the other WOTOFO'S from the other sites. So that one was up around 39 something. Okay, and I recommend taking the stupid drip tip off, the friction, these mass manufactured black ones, you know, real thin. No O-ring on them, friction, the old style. So anyway, people, there it is. I like it. It's unbelievably machined perfectly. Inside, it is immaculate. Now, I watched the Jay Hayes video on this. He had a stainless steel one that was like a mirror finish. I mean, you're going to get fingerprints all over that. So I got the gunmetal one. And that's what it looks like, the stainless steel one. And it was like a mirror finish. And everything inside this thing was meticulous. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I haven't seen any leaks on this. I don't think you're going to get. The air holes are on the top here. Way up here. The only thing that would leak in this is if you take the deck off it and some of the juice maybe dripped out or something. So I don't think you're ever going to get a leak off of this either. Now the Profile RTDA for WOTOFO, it leaked. It leaks a lot because their air holes are down in here. Okay, so that might give you something to think about because their air holes were kind of sitting, well, they're kind of sitting honeycomb down further on it. You understand? So I would get leaks out of this bottom retainer here sometimes down in there. So, you know, I mean, it's a good device. I like this. In fact, I'm thinking about buying these and just making these 2.0s on all my devices. Get away from the 1.5s. It's bigger. It's 20, I don't know. I'd have to look at the box, but it's like 22 mils, and the 1.5s are like 20 mils. So this is bigger and wider. All right. One more hit off this. One more time, I'm going to take it up to 55. Maybe 55 is right where it's at. Yep, 55 is where I will vape this. So there you go. The TCX, people. The Expromiser from Germany. Germany engineered, Germany made. And hit my like button down there. YouTube doesn't pay anything for vape videos because they think they're, you know, dangerous to society, and we all know that's bullshit. And make sure that you order your e-juice now. You got till April 29th at the UPS to get it. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy it in high-priced vape stores. And remember, cheapvapes.com, vapesourcing.com. You can order these things from China. They ship them pretty quickly now to you. I know everybody's going to come on here, oh, I didn't get anything for 20 to 40 days from China. Well, vape sourcing and cheapvapedeals.com. Some of the vape sourcing, if you go there, they'll get them to you in 8 to 10 days. They bring them out of Hong Kong. Okay, but it's worth the wait. So think about what you want and order from there, and you don't have to worry about any of these internet stores in America. Okay? All right, so everybody have a good day. I did what I was supposed to do. I found 2 more. I will be looking for 2 more devices to bring to you when I see they're worth buying and their mesh and the flavors are outstanding in them, and I will tell you what they are. Have a good day, everybody. Vape on.